Hi. So, have you thought of creating something like a student, like a class object oriented programming in C? So, this is actually a question asked in a very reputed company for an embedded developer, where he is asked to create a student such that the student contains the following attribute like marks in physics, chemistry, and maths, his roll number, and total marks and average will be the functionality that will depend upon whether that student is player or not. Okay, so that means physics, chemistry, maths, roll number will be the attributes of that student, and total marks and average will be the functions related to that student that will be calculated when we want to print. And finally, we want to have functions that will help to add the details of the student and print the student. So final output is expected somewhat like this, where roll number of the student will be printed with its complete details. Okay, and the input should be given in a very simple manner like this. We create and the give the detail of a student. For that, we only need to use one line of code, and to print the details we can use one line of code. Then let's see how it can be done. Okay, so let's start with the question. So let's understand what is asked. So this is asked in a embedded firmware developer company. So I will not be taking the name, but it's asked in one of the very genuine companies. So the question is, we need. So this is says that store the details of student marks such that every student should have attributes like marks in maths, chemistry, and physics, and roll number, total marks, and average. If a student is a player, then 50 extra marks will be given. Create a function to add student details and print student details. So it is like if there is a classroom, in their class there can be number of students. So every student normally will be having maths, physics, and chemistry as a subject. Every student will have roll number, and total marks and average marks will be calculated based on the marks obtained by the student. Now the catch is, for a player student he will get extra 50 marks. So we need to create a function such that it will be easy to add a new student and to print the details. So the interviewers want you to think in that perspective, that how you can write the entire thing in form of function so that it is easy to add and remove, at least easy to add and print the details. So we will be solving this problem with the help of structures and function pointers. So this is very important thing, where we have a mix of structure, function pointers, and also we can say that how to allocate new functions to a structure. So let's start by including the libraries. Let's create the structure first. So I have given normally this structure as node, and this I will tell as details. Okay, and then I will. So we want to store maths in physics, chemistry, roll number, and total marks. So roll number can be uint 8 underscore t, and it can be roll number or roll. Then marks can be in float. So it will be physics, chem, maths. Then we need to store the total marks, total float, average. Okay. So best way is to keep everything in small. Now, the main catch is we need to have a function that should calculate the total marks and average marks. Okay. And as you see that for if a student is a player, then 50 extra marks will be given, correct? So we also need to have a field which specify whether that student is a player or not. So let's take here one as uint 8. Okay. Let's say a character. So that character will say player. So if that is yes, so we can say yes or no for player. Okay, or no for player. So let's, and here we need to have function pointers. So void star, let's say total, and what total will take, it will take the entire structure, will pass the entire structure star, let's say s, and then we should have average, same thing. So our structure is almost ready. Now we should create functions. Okay, so structure is done. What function is needed? First function should be to calculate total marks. Okay, so that can be easy, like void. So why I am taking void is because I have already declared function type with return as void. So it's a structure, so it is easy and required to declare in void format. So let's say void total, or let's say sum. So we create a sum function where we have this argument as struct node s, and inside that function what we want to do s, and we want to store it in total, and we want to add s math plus s. Okay, and let's see, we have one more field. If s player equals to yes, then we have this plus 50, else we have this. So that's it, correct? So extra marks if the player is 50, if the student is 50. So some function is done. So then we need one more function, that is to calculate average. So what we need to do is uh, copy the same thing, and we have already stored the total. So average is nothing but s average equals to s total by 3. So that's it. So this is functions are done. So we have, so this we have to name it as, let's say divide, or average marks, something like that, and this we define as total marks. Okay, so this is done, and we also need to create one more function to add and print the details of the student. So we want to add student. So void, let's say we want to add number of students. So for that I will be creating let's say a pointer for this structure, so where I will continuously be adding the uh, or let's say let's keep it simple. So let's say we, when we want to add it, we will pass the student number and it will add it. Okay, so let's say void add student, and to add student what we need to pass is that structure s. Then so this can also be solved with a linked list, so it will be very impressive if some of you can solve with linked list and post it in the comment. Okay, so I will solve it in normal way, just creating two students. Okay, so and what all attributes we want to give? First thing we want to give as uint 8, that is role, then character, player, then float, physics, then float, chem, then float, math. So we are good to go with this, and here we just put this s, dot roll equals to roll. Fine. And for printing, we'll create a function for printing. This is adding, and let's say void print details, where we'll pass just this struct node s to print its detail, or it can be simply struct s. So for that, we'll just say printf. So okay, all the print statement has been added, so we'll pass this and it should print it. Okay, now in the main function, let's create students details, and we create student s1 comma s2. Okay, so only two students I have created. Then I want to add the details of the student. For that, I will call this add student function. In add students, I will pass ampersand s1 comma, then roll number is 1, then it is a player, let's say no, it's not a player. Then we say, then we add the details of another student s2, roll number 2, yes, it's a player. So even if he obtains the same marks, so 20 30, okay, so let's see the average. Print details, in print details we pass s1, then we pass s2. Okay, and let's see what happens. Run it. So it is saying, see, total student physics chemistry maths, okay, total marks obtained is 0 0 here also and 0 0 here also. So it is printing, but we have linked. Okay, okay, only one thing that we haven't linked it. Okay, so when we add the function, we need to link it also and then call it. So where we are adding, here we are adding, so we missed one thing. When we say s, and we need to total equals to total marks as a function, then add s the function. Okay, then when we want to print the details, we want to calculate the average and that one. Okay, so here also we need to pass struct node star, put everything like this. Okay, and finally we say total, pass total and average, those functions. And let's see now. Okay, we need to pass the address here. Okay, so it has calculated. So let's print one nice thing. Okay, so this is how it will print. So roll number 1, student details are physics, chemistry, maths marks. Total marks is obtained this one. Average is 80. And now the same marks is obtained, but since that student is a player, so it has, yeah, scored 50% extra, and that's where he has scored around 96%. So this is how you do it. Okay, and this is the entire code for your reference. Please pause the video and watch slowly, and everything is available here. Okay, so I hope you understand it. This is very important question. Please do it. Thank you, and for more such things, please subscribe to my channel.